Good morning, guys. In this video, we are going to discuss about Java 14 new features, in which especially on pattern matching instance of. This is a preview feature. This has introduced in Java 14 based on the user community response or feedback. It's gonna be included in upcoming releases, or they might be not include this feature as well. But this feature majorly useful for removing boilerplate code in the writing of in the checking of instance of, and then convert the instance of object into the respective target object and access the respective object for further uses. Let's take an example and then go through the functionality. If you see, I have already set of domains. User, under user we do have different details, and user employee extends user, and we do have get employee details, then customer, and customer extends user, and we do have get customer details, and we have equals and hash code implementation for customer object. Let's see a requirement where we want to fetch the user details based on the input object. Let's take an example. I have user new customer. Okay, now I want to fetch the user detail. Here user is customer, as because customer is subclass and user is base class, we can assign subclass to the base class and access the respective details. And let me write one method string, as because I want to fetch the user details in string format. From old approach. So first I'm going to be explain how we used to get and then use the instance of concept. Later we can discuss about the new approach. Let me check this. If user instance of customer, then in the older approach how we used to do, first we used to check this instance of customer, and then create customer equal to typecast it to respective customer object, and then return customer dot get customer details. In the same fashion, as because we do have two type of users, one is customer and employee, and I want to check the other type of object as well. If user instance of employee, then I need to convert it to employee object, right, and return employee details. So this is the, and if it is not matches with anything, I want to return empty. This is the way which we used to write from earlier approaches to verify the input object is matching with the respective target object. If matches, then typecast it and then fetch the respective details. Let me try to call this method details. Let me get user details from old approach, then pass a user object, and I just want to print it and see what the respective details has been returned, whether it is properly written the target object or target details. I'm going to run this method, and it's going to be taking time. Yeah, see, we pass customer and it return I am customer. Let's go and then see the customer. Get customer details. I am customer. So if you see here, we do have a lot. We need to means as a developer, we need to write a lot of code to achieve this purpose. Sometimes when you are trying to, if there are different user types, is greater than 4 or 5 user types, we might forget copy paste in the copy pasting. We might forget to cast from one to other. At the time of running, we get to know there is something has been missed in the at the time of coding. So this is a bit hectic, and then it will look like a bit ugly as well, and the number of lines also get increased. To avoid this, in Java 14 they introduced pattern matching for instance of. So let me write the code and then go through the feature. Get user details, new approach. Okay, user. In this scenario, what they have introduced means implemented in Java 14 is user instance of customer, and also you can assign the respective stuff to the customer. What exactly it will do is, if it will match us with user instance of customer, then it will assign that instance to customer object directly. Here, as a developer, you need not to be write typecasting from older approach, and you can use this customer for your purpose. It got customer details. If you see, this code has been reduced to one line instead 2 lines. In the same fashion, let me write it else if for employee also return employee.get employee details. See here, this is and let me write if nothing matches, return empty. See here, this complete method took almost a greater number of lines compared to the new approach way of pattern matching instance of. And we, as a developer, we just need to be concentrated about your business logic. You need not to worry about boilerplate code on typecasting and other purposes and other details. Let me try to call this method. I'm going to comment this old one and then calling the get through new approach. It should also print what it has printed earlier. I am customer. Let me run it. I'm running it. Now observe what the output. The output is same. This is how in Java 14 they have introduced pattern matching instance of to avoid developers to write the repeated code and then for the typecasting and then use the respective object for our different purposes. And I want to explain you one more and in detail uses of instance of. As you saw that, right? Let me copy paste the same to avoid for our comparison purpose. A practice. Okay, I changed it to practice. And if you see, if suppose it will not match with this one, let me try to write it. So I'm trying to look at the different approaches. If you see, when you try to check for not instance of customer, and then it is throwing a compilation error, cannot resolve symbol customer. What it means is this customer object will be assigned and then usable only in else part. not in the if part. The reason is we are checking for not. Okay, so let me try to comment out this line and then try to return customer dot get customer details. So you just need to observe here, if you are trying to check for not instance of, then the assigned target object should be utilized in the else part, not in the if part. Let me run this and then see it will really works or not. I'm commenting the earlier one and again string details, calling the practice one. It should print the same what it earlier printed. I am customer. Now you are able to see it has printed as I am customer. So this is what actually you need to observe. If it is instance of and you are checking instance of a specific target object, then you can use that reference object reference in the respective if condition. Else you should use that in the else part. Need not to be typecast in the else part again for consideration. The majorly this instance of pattern matching will be utilized in equals and hash code comparisons. In our domains, we used to override if you want to override the equals and the hash codes. If you see here, this equals method is always takes object O, and if this O equal to O, return true. And here we are looking at here, right? If you see O equal to null or not, just now we discuss about not, then it will be false. Else means instead of writing else, this customer could be utilized in the next lines as because we utilize in the not scenario. Customer ID dot customer ID. So this pattern matching instance of will be utilized and then used for remove the boilerplate code, and then developer should just concentrate about their business logic